My name is Rebecca Peto. I am 16 years old. I am from Obom. I was living with my grandma in Adeso. One day, my grandmother was dead, so then my father took me to Nigeria. So I was living with my father and my stepmother. One day, my stepmother sent me on an errand, and when I went, I got missing. And the police found me. They put me on TV. Nobody came for me.
My name is Tawumanye Kwesi Maoliazaglo. On the streets, they call me Bratike. I am the founder and president of Future of Africa. These kids are victims of situations in which they were born into. The average Ghanaian who sees these kids just see how stubborn they are. But no one really understands that this is beyond a social problem. This is a public health problem. This is a health issue because these kids, before they get on the streets, have experienced all kinds of abuse. The girls are often sexually assaulted by people in their families. So sometimes they run to the streets for refuge. But on the streets, they are further abused. They get traumatized by all these experiences. So then they resort to sex, drugs, gambling to mask these problems. And then they go into a state of depression, into a state of anxiety. So then how do you get these kids off the streets and expect them not to run back to the streets when they are triggered by different things they experience?
They took me from Correctional Center to Ghana Embassy. So I was staying there for 3 years. One day, the man took me in a car, brought me in Osu Children's Home, and the food was not good, so I ran away with my friends. Like ye chinchin, ye ni baby atina, ti ye chinchin, ye biwa yetimi kwada kanta, yetimi kwada ye boy so ena adechia ye nya baby nsonda ni ye chinchin. The yan say be ho atare be fene ato na ya she. We go to Opebia. I couldn't find my friend again. I was walking around and a girl took care of me. His name is called Agnes. So Agnes was giving me weed to sell.
I think the biggest way that Future of Africa has transformed my thinking is, like everybody else, I would drive up to a traffic light and there'll be a kid who just comes out of nowhere and starts spraying my window shield and cleaning it, and I would get frustrated with them. But now I'm a little bit more empathetic. I understand that they're there for a reason. They're there out of necessity, not necessarily by choice.
It is difficult getting girls off the street because they are often raped on a weekly basis. And we hear about these cases quite often. These girls struggle to stay in school because they're not used to routine, they're not used to discipline, and they're not used to being in a confined space. They're used to freedom, right? And also they're used to making money because they get raped multiple times. Sometimes they're thinking to themselves, if I'm going to get raped, I might as well make money out of it, right? So then they get addicted to sex, and that's also part of the problem why it's hard to retain girls.
I did not know that I was pregnant, and that day my stomach was paining me. And he said that, what is wrong with me? And I told the woman that my stomach. So the woman took me to his house, give me hot water to bath. When I'm done, the woman gave me food to eat. He told me to sleep. I couldn't sleep. She and his son took me to hospital and they said I'm pregnant and the child have died in my stomach. She did medicine for me, and when I drank it, blood was coming and she let me sit on hot water. Anajobi, adechinye, okoko jare me ena refrain saying akwalane towe ewe jare ho.
We also have quite a few needs around understanding the mental health challenges that these kids have, the reason they went into the streets and what they grapple with while in the streets. And it takes a lot of mental health therapy to help them kind of stay off the streets, because there's a family that's built when they're on the streets, and that's what they're used to. So we have kids who've run away and gone back to the streets, even though we're trying to provide a safe environment.
I decided to become involved with Future of Africa because I started seeing the impact that TK and his group of students from Ashesi were having, and I felt like they had a model that worked, and I felt like TK is somebody that I want to root for and get behind.
Well, to start with, Future of Africa, I see it as a lifestyle, not a chore or a job. When I was in senior high school, our house got burnt. That was when I felt to be homeless. So my family, we had nothing. With the help of family and friends, we were able to come out of this situation. I knew that there were other people in the same situation. They have no homes and they have no one to help them. They just need a helping hand to come out of that situation. And I felt deep within me to help. When I got admission at Ashesi University, TK, who was the then Associate Dean of Students, was giving a presentation and he made mention of Future of Africa, and this really resonated with me, and I knew that this is where I needed to be. I started going to the streets every Saturday with some of the volunteers from Ashesi, and I've been a part of Future of Africa for all my academic years in Ashesi.
The most powerful thing I've seen working in FOA is love, because everything that happens here is based on love.
And I make sure be say on search Future of Africa, mommy. Just search here and I'm home now, Bratiki number, and I'm a fan, I'm a friend. Until Ebanis and I make first can I am the boss so can and I'm a frock and I'm a bedroom. I cry. Tia Tracy and I buy. Tia do your manage.
Rebecca was one of the girls that moved in when I assumed the position of the facility coordinator. And when she came in, there's been times that she will be feeling sad, she'll be down. You get closer to her and then she tells you that I have done a lot of things out there and I feel right now I'm wanted. Are you sure God still loves me? And when we learned more about how God shows us love, she was very happy. And then I also encouraged her not to walk out of this place. I tell her that you have to focus and you have to work hard. You have to tell yourself that I am beautiful, I am loved, and I tell her a lot of motivational words.
So very often we get asked, you know, why do you do this? What's at the core of the work you do? And my response is our fundamental belief. At Future of Africa, we believe that all human lives are equal in value and have immense potential. Like every single life, regardless of what neighborhood you were born into, what family you were born into. By the fact that you're alive, the value of your life is the same as mine, is the same as the president's, is the same as everyone, right? So we don't want to write anyone off because we believe their lives are very valuable. And we also believe in young people because everyone keeps saying, you know, young people are the future. They've got a lot of potential within them that if nurtured, if given mentorship, if given the right circumstances, they can thrive and contribute to development, contribute to progress. There's another gentleman, Isaac Andor. We met him almost 6 years ago, and he also was one of the kids who lived with Nikki and I in our home. He actually had a rough go because Isaac was born with polio, and because of that he was ostracized, and that's how he ended up on the street. When we took him off the street, he was living with us. We realized he was sick. He was dealing with epilepsy. One night he had multiple seizures in our home. We got him to the hospital. Thankfully, we were able to provide the healthcare he needs, and we enrolled him in a school. He learned leatherwork. So now Isaac is able to make bags that we're hoping to sell to raise some money for Future of Africa. But also, we are still working with him to perfect his skill, equip him with some soft skills so that he can one day also become independent and be on his own. We have Rebecca Kpato, who's been able to graduate from school as a hairdresser, and we are currently working with her to perfect her skill so that she can establish her own little store and work, make money, and contribute to society.
Sisi I'm a beautician. Meeting a wig, meeting a closure, meeting a bokon, meeting a borasta. That's in say a big company. I mean animal like almost on Wall Street and a swami be. On my cage, a school common. Na meeting a form and a match. To see I'm energy because no bright future, and I'm going to see our domain, our journey home. Yes.
As the organization continues its work, more and more leaders will come along saying, hey, these children living on the streets have stories, they have hope, they have joy, they have potential, and we're not going to let them suffer through this anymore. We are going to make a change, and we're going to not let this problem be acceptable.
My name is Richard Okai, and I was once on the street, and now I'm an overall scholar. I'm doing well in school, and I want people to come on board and help the street kids, for them to be like me. Now I'm in school and I'm doing well.
We often get the question, how can I help? How can I be a part of this? And my response is in multiple folds, because I truly believe that we are not called to solve this problem alone. In fact, the problem is too big for any one individual, one organization, or even a government to solve, right? If you're an organization, a business, you care about this issue, get in touch with us and let's discuss how we can work together to solve this problem. We need financial partnership. We need people to contribute their knowledge, their skills, their resources. Whatever skill you have, how can you contribute that to help us improve the work we do here so that we can make a bigger impact?
To volunteer in this space, you need to be committed. You need to be faithful to whatever that you want to do here, and you have to be consistent with it. You need to be available. Your presence means a lot in this space, right? You need to always show up.
For young people who also are looking for ways to get involved, we need volunteers. We need people who can come to our community center to hang out with the kids we've already taken off the street. We need people to participate in reading circles, people to just play, hang out. The work we are doing is possible because of people who support us financially, people who support us with prayers and donating in-kind stuff. Because honestly, the costs are a lot, and we believe in going the extra mile to make sure that we give the kids our very best. Thank you to everyone who's believed in our work, because honestly, we cannot do this without you guys.